Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces, where we talk about watch collecting and horology. Today, we're just going to compare the Moonswatch Mission to the Moon with a Man in the Moon Hesselite Speedmaster. Hesselite means that it has a plastic crystal. The plastic's called Hesselite. Essentially, it's acrylic made for things like visors and crystals and helmets and things that need to be tough but transparent. And this just, I don't know if it's a Hesselite plastic, but I mean, it's pretty much 6 of one, half dozen of the other when you're talking about plastic used for watch crystals. You're going to need some polywatch with both of these because you need polywatch to clean the scratches out of the watch crystal, or frankly, any plastic watch crystal. Now, the thing that's interesting about these two pieces is that although a lot of people say that people want to own the Mission to the Moon because it looks a lot like the Man in the Moon Speedmaster, they really don't look that much alike. I mean, unless you really don't know what you're looking at, it's kind of difficult to mistake gray plastic for stainless steel. There are a lot of people who say, well, the Mission to the Moon, a lot of people like it because it looks so much like the regular Speedmaster. When you put them together, you realize that this isn't that much like this watch beyond the case shape at all. I deliberately put them on NATOs so that way you just look at the watch itself. I put them on identical NATOs or nearly identical NATOs so that the bracelet wouldn't influence the impression that you get from looking directly at the two watches. But the fact is that the Man in the Moon, the Mission to the Moon Moonswatch, beyond the case shape and general looks, is actually not that much of a lookalike to a real Man in the Moon Speedmaster. First thing is, number one, the case, obviously, but the second is beyond the print on the face, the fact that the totalizers are in different positions on the two watches means that from any reasonable distance, anyone who knows what they're looking at can tell the difference between the two watches as well. So the reality is that the Moonswatch is really more of a branded, co-branded sister product, like another Speedmaster in the Speedmaster Special Series vein. I would think of this more as a special edition Speedmaster issued by Swatch than an homage made by Swatch on the Speedmaster. This is more of a co-branded issue. I would liken this to the Porsche 924, where the Porsche 924 had a Volkswagen engine and a Porsche body, and they were considered not Porsches by aficionados, just the way the Moonswatch is not considered a true Omega by, watch snobs, among other people. But the fact is that this is a watch in its own right that is part of the Speedmaster family. A lot of people, myself included, have been calling it an homage, but in reality, it's more of a co-branded special edition than it is a direct homage to the Speedmaster.